Hello everyone. I'm going to do a short video here reviewing how to understand and how to use multiplication to find equivalent fractions. Okay, so we're just going to start off really basic right now with 1/2 and 2/4. So if I were to draw 1/2, I'm going to of course use my brownie pan like I always do. I'm going to split it in half, okay? Here's 1/2, and here's another 1/2. Okay, and then if I were to draw my 2/4, I'm going to make the same size brownie pan, except this time I'm splitting it up into fours. 1/4, 1/4, 1/4, and 1/4. So when we look at this, I actually have 4/4 here equals 1 whole. So 1 equals 4/4. If I look at this one, I have 1, 2. So 2 2s equals my 1 whole, okay? So if I have 1/2, that's this one all shaded, okay? And then I have 2/4. Let's say I ate 2/4 of my brownie pan, okay? Are those equivalent? Are they equal? When we look at that word equivalent, it's got equiv in it, equal, I always want to say. So when we look at equivalent fractions, I always hear that word equal in there. Yes, they have to be equal. So 1/2 is equal to 2/4. All right, so how could we use multiplication to solve that? Okay, so I'm going to erase this here. If I have my 1/2 here, and I'll put my 2/4 over here. Okay, and if we want to use multiplication to see if this is actually equivalent fractions, I'm going to look here. Okay, 1 times what equals 2? Well, I know that 1 times 2 equals 2. Okay, and whatever I do to my numerator, I have to do to my denominator, no matter what. So if I'm finding equivalent fractions, you have to do to the numerator and the denominator the same. So since I multiplied my numerator by 2 here, I have to do it down here as well. 2 times 2 is 4. So just by looking at this, I can tell that these two they're equivalent, okay? So let's try another one. Let's go ahead and do, let's do a third. So I'm going to first draw my thirds on a number line, okay, since we've been working on number lines. And I'm going to go ahead and start, I bring it over a little bit. 0, and then this is going to be my 1 whole right here. So if I'm doing it in terms of thirds, that means that I have to split my number line up into 3. So here is my 1/3, my 2/3, and then my 1 whole, which is 3/3, okay? So let's say then I want to do, I want to see if, I basically want to see is 1/3 equivalent to 4/12. Okay, are these equal? Are they the same thing? So let's draw another number line. I'll do it in a different color. Here's my other number line. 0, bring my line all the way across. 1. So now I've got to split this one. Looks like you can't see that one. This one into 12s, okay? So in order to split it up into 12s, I am just going to go 1, 2, 3. Good. Okay, so I'm not going to label each one, but here's 1/12, 2/12, 3/12, 4/12, 5/12, 6/12, 7/12, 8/12, 9/12, 11/12, and then 12/12, which equals our 1. All right, so let's look at that. Just by looking at this picture, is 1/3 the same as 4/12? Well, it sure looks like that, even with Mrs. Kaiser's crazy drawings here. It sure looks like they're equal. So let's see here. Let's look at our 1/3 and our 1/4. So I'm going to write my 1/3 here. What would I have to multiply my numerator 1 by in order to get 4? Well, 1 times what equals 4? Well, 1 times 4 equals 4. Okay, so 1 times 4 equals 4. Whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So 3 times 4, what does that equal? Well, that equals 12. So can we say that 1/3 and 4/12 are equal? Yes, we sure can. All that this is saying, you guys, is when we think of in terms of our brownie pan, it just means that my brownie pans are the exact same size. I just cut them into different size pieces. So my brownie pan, I cut into 12 pieces, and the same exact brownie pan I cut into 3 pieces. Okay, so if I'm eating my 1/3, okay, that is the same as eating 4 pieces that were split into 12. So 4 smaller pieces. These are the same. All right, let's practice another one. Let's go ahead and do, okay, I'm just going to do 1/3. Okay, and remember, I'm going to kind of just extend this line a little bit and put multiplication signs there. And I want to know, what is a number that could be equivalent? So I'm going to give you my denominator, okay? I'm going to give the denominator over here of 9. So 3 times what equals 9? Well, it's 3. So whatever I do to the top, I have to do to the bottom. So I'm going to put my 3 up here. 1 times 3 equals 3. So what this problem is saying is that 1/3 is equivalent to 3/9. And if I were to look at some fraction bars here, I'm going to show you one right here. If I were to look at some fraction bars, all right, here is my 1/3 right here. So let's just double check here. Here's my 1/3. Is that equivalent to 3/9? Well, here's my 9ths. 1, 2, 3, you betcha. And as you can see, those are equivalent. What else is equivalent to 1/3? 1, 2, 6. How many 12s? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many 15s? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's do one more together, and then I'm going to let you loose to work on your couple of math pages. Let's go ahead and do, let's just stick with our 1/3. I want to know an equivalent fraction to 1/3 that has a denominator of 15. Okay, what am I going to do? All right, so I'm going to erase my equal sign real quick. I have 2 numbers here, so I know that if I multiply 3 times what is going to get me 15? Well, 3 times 5 is 15. Whatever I do to the bottom, I need to do to the top. 1 times 5 equals 5. So what I'm seeing here is that 1/3 is equal to 5/15. You got this, guys. Go ahead, work on your couple of pages. Have fun. And if you need help, remember, I'm in office hours every day at 1. Come see me. I want to help you. Bye.